We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Grant DuBose, Miami Dolphins' newest wide receiver. They claimed him from the Packers, and honestly, I really like his fit with the team. He's like an ideal wide receiver 5, like an excellent blocker, really good on special teams. Like, he'll bring versatility in the way that he can block for you too, which is like the biggest thing. And he's also not just like that, like he's still very young and a developmental wide receiver. Like, he brings, like, look at him, 86 blocking on the edge there, getting in the interior. Really love his finish, his play strength, his toughness. All of that is really nice. And he also has like a really good catch radius, good size to him. I think he shows really good movement skills. Packers run a very similar scheme to the Dolphins, so that's always nice. Look at him at the top here. You can see the body control, ability to finish at the catch point, which is great. I think he just needs to work on like certain release things, route running. But I actually think he can develop into a decent player. And he feels like a Craycraft sort of, replacement for now while Rivers hurt at the bottom here. Like, I think, he has the ability to create some separation. But even though he's a developing receiver, he brings an immediate impact as a blocker and on special teams. So, like, he'll have an immediate impact in that way with upside. And then, he'll be able to replace Craycraft with that excellent blocking. And then, like, he's not going to always be like a man-to-man type thing. But I think he can come in and, still get open if necessary, make some tough catches. And it'll be interesting to see his skill set being used in the Dolphins offense and see if they, kind of switch up things with their versatility. We'll go back to this first play, which is look how, like, the toughness that he shows going up to get the safety, like, and he'll do it from tighter alignments like this, get involved, like, we'll see him block linebackers, we'll see him insert and block people too. That's kind of what the Rams like to do, and I wonder if the Dolphins will start doing more stuff like that. But, like, in the running game, like, putting a body on a safety, allowing your running back to get more yards, and, like, he's gonna go at you with all his physicality. He's got really good length. He squares you up. He goes with a good base, pretty good hands. And then once he gets, like, control of you, he starts to drive his feet and looks to finish. Like, I love his effort. His effort is super high. Like, he's pretty much exactly what you're needing in that sort of position. And he also brings special teams value, as well as see a clip of him doing some good work as a gunner if that's really needed. So, DuBose, very exciting to watch. Here's the backside of this, and this is all from this preseason. He's a second-year player, didn't really play at all in year one with some injuries, and he was like a 7th-round pick, but very good athlete, came out of Charlotte. We get to see him insert, go up and throw a body into the safety, something the Packers like to do, something the Rams like to do, getting receivers involved from, like, basically a tight alignment, playing as like a wing here. Getting them involved in the blocking game can bring such big value, because if they can get in here, usually teams will have lighter boxes with receivers this tight, and then you can have a receiver throw a body on a DB in the box. It just can give you a nice little numbers advantage, and just really fun watching DuBose go to work. He always gets a hat on, even if he doesn't have the most perfect routes. Like, he is throwing his body and being physical with people. And he does this in the running game, but he also does it out in space. Like, if a guy catches a ball, he'll turn up field, look for a guy to block, great yards after catch for his teammates, or, design screens, things like that. He brings those types of values. Like, here's a jet sweep out in space. The ball is fumbled. Like, this is insane. Like, this ball is fumbled on the jet sweep in the backfield. So he has to block extra long. Look at DuBose make his adjustment. He's going upfield. He sees this guy attack hard outside, so he makes that adjustment, gets his body back into it. He's got good feet, good base. Now this guy's, gets a little bit off of him right here. Like he's kind of losing the rep here at this point, but I mean, because he has to hold it for so long. Look at him recover, regain, and then just finish this guy. Held that block for so long, like super impressive that he stayed with it the whole way, and like the other guy had to make the tackle, which is pretty insane. Also, just continuously the blocking, it's all over the film, especially in preseason. Look how he's able to contain that for so long. To see it from this side, just blocking a DB, doing this from bunches. So like the DB's down near the line of scrimmage, you have a receiver on him, and he goes out there and he blocks like he's a tight end. And he's like 6'2", 200-ish pounds, so he's like a decent-sized receiver, but he goes out there and blocks like he's even bigger than that. Sticks with it, even when like his running back bounces to the outside, so the DB starts to separate away from him. He chases him down, stays with it, blocks him for like an extra 4 or 5 yards down the field. Here's at the top, running a route. I do feel like when it comes to, like, he struggles versus press, I think, overall. Like, I saw him struggle versus press for the most part, which is, a reason, he ends up getting cut is because of that type of thing. Like, the Packers didn't want to cut him. Packers fans love this guy, and I know the Packers really wanted to try to get him back because of his special teams blocking value. But as a receiver, there's upside. You see the flashes, like here versus the zone. You just see him, the route is okay. You get to see him at least selling with his eyes, body to the inside, breaks back to the outside, not horrible, change of direction for a guy of his size. And then look at this catch. Look at the body control. Look at the situational sideline awareness. He deadens his legs to get 2 feet in bounds, and makes a tough catch. He can make some tough catches too. That gives me a lot of hope, that you can be a decent receiver. If you can make plays like this, which not a lot of people can, that is a very, very solid play. If he just develops a little bit more of a release package in route running, which he did show flashes of that too. Here's another example of him getting involved, finding 41, a DB going down to the box. Look at him have to go cut this guy off on the backside of this play. He sticks with it, doesn't give up, sees that 41, tries to make his adjustment to go to the running back. DuBose sticks with it, boom, throws his body, still trying to bully this guy down the field. When you have guys like this that give that high of effort, your guy makes someone miss, and he's just still going at someone down the field. That's the extra big play, and receivers get so involved blocking. And River was your best blocker. And think of all the crack tosses the Dolphins run, where the receiver has to crack down on an edge or something like that. That's kind of huge in this offense, or they have to block someone out in space as a lead on those tosses. So having a guy that can block is really, really nice. Here you just see him running a dig. I actually think he does a pretty good job getting in and out of his break here. I think he's better in this type of stuff when he stays under control. Sometimes he widens things a little bit too much. He takes some false steps, but here he does a decent job. Love that he's stemming this to the outside, get this guy to give up that inside leverage, and then he sinks those hips really nicely and then breaks the inside and gets down the line pretty flat to create separation versus this corner. Ball doesn't come his way here, but I like seeing that route from DuBose, and we'll start to see more of this stuff out of him. He had multiple catches on out routes, speed outs. I think he does a good job getting out of the break pretty quickly, not too much wasted movement. For a guy of his size, I feel like it's pretty smooth. Guys, they're playing in a 3 match here. He's 1-on-1 on the outside. He breaks off. Ball's thrown low on the backside. He makes a tough catch for a big guy. Sometimes it's tougher for big guys to make these awkward catches that are kind of below the hip area, and he makes that nice one, converts the first down. Here's I think he actually does a pretty good job working vertically, which is nice. He can run clear out routes for you. He doesn't need to be the main target. He has speed, long speed. He can carry out space. Here he actually draws the PI by attacking outside leverage, which I think he does a good job of here. Stemming this to the outside. Once he gets the DB to open up, boom, you take that inside path. Guy holds on to him, slows him down. If he doesn't get grabbed there, because it was a pass interference or holding, it was one of them, the flags right there. If that doesn't happen, he had a chance to really make that catch. But it's nice to see him drawing that type of thing. And then just continuous blocking. Look at him just throw body into people. Love the angle adjustments. He thinks he might go to 12, but he sees the tight end going to block him, so he's okay, find the corner, cut him off, I'm in a perfect position, square him up. The running play doesn't even come near him, but look at DuBose blocking compared to everyone else at this point. Everyone else is basically done. DuBose is still in there. Very, very excited, watching him go to work. Here on the outside, I really actually like the out move. Sometimes I'm oh, he needs to show more in his route running, but then he has a little bit of this, where I'm oh, a little bit of nice footwork at the top of the route. The other speed out, he just quickly, got around the corner, got to his arc. But here he gives you a little foot fire, slows this down, boom, step to the inside, get the DB to freeze with his eyes, and then you break this to the outside, catch the ball with your hands, and then boom, convert another first down. He was converting first downs. And the movement skills for his size look pretty nice here. This is what, the good plays I was seeing in as a receiver. There was a couple ones where I'm oh, he struggled versus press there. When he had some space to work with, there was flashes, and it made me feel pretty good because he's not only the blocker special teams that's instant impact. Sometimes those guys don't have any upside as a receiver, but DuBose clearly shows upside as a receiver, and he's only a second-year player, pretty young, 23-ish, I believe, around there. I think he was born in 2001. I can't remember if he was 23 yet or not, but here's another example. This was probably one of his better reps versus press, where he actually beat press. He lost all the other ones, I believe, but he actually does a decent job here with a split release. You split with your feet down below, give yourself a two-way go, gives a hard stab to the outside, gets this guy to shoot his hands. He fights through the contact. Sometimes he struggled to fight through the contact. He's not he just, didn't give a great release. It's not that he can't fight through it, but he gets through there, breaks the inside, catches a slant, good timing. That's all good to see. This is stuff you got to be able to do for Miami. So if he does get those targets, Like, he'll be the type of guy that comes in and mostly just gets the job done as a blocker, but with how much teams play zone, if you can find soft spot versus zones, you will get some work in the offense. Here he is just down the box versus an edge defender. Like, it could be, like, you want to, like, he doesn't, like, win the rep or anything. Like, he gets pushed back. But, like, the fact that they can even use him down here and he's willing to get his body on a guy who's much, much bigger than him and he has no right blocking and at least slow him down long enough. Like, if this is blocked up pretty good on this side and this guy could hit through the edge, DuBose is at least there to just shield the guy off for long enough. I just like the usage that he can bring. Here's one of the reps where he just didn't get anything versus press, didn't create any separation. There's another one where he didn't get off the ball at all. But yeah, DuBose kind of struggled really to get off this type of stuff. He didn't have too many moves in his bag, so he's still developing overall as a receiver like that at the top of the screen there. Involved in the screen game, they got him a couple plays here, yards after catch, nothing too crazy. Just wanted to show another play where he got a catch in this previous preseason. Good job working. He made like good vision play. Good job working off your linebackers. Didn't really do anything crazy, but he does have pretty good speed, I would say. Like, he pretty good athletically. And here's the special teams play. He's getting blocked, double teamed, release hard to the inside, and then look at just the effort and strain here, because he goes to the ground, falls, and still gets up, makes a great hustle play. I also think he might have been the one to draw the flag there and then gets that tackle. That's super, super impressive because he gets pulled down. Like, the flag gets thrown right there, so I think it actually was called up. But look how he gets back up. Look at the adjustment made, and look at him track this guy down. You could see he is very comfortable on special teams. That's just another added layer. Like, and special teams can be very important. The Dolphins got much better, I feel like, special teams players this year. With Saran Neal, you still have Elijah Campbell, Grant DuBose now. You have guys that can really get after it if needed. And realistically, the Dolphins kind of lost their playoff spot last year because of that punt return touchdown that happened. I know it was an unfortunate, versus the Bills, it was an unfortunate injury that happened on the play. But that was a big reason they didn't get a special team. Like, that was the biggest play in that game that kind of changed momentum. Here he is working in a blind spot. He looks pretty comfortable working on these out routes. Doesn't get targeted here, but this is an example of him getting pretty, good job getting out laterally, getting flat, horizontal breaks. I feel like overall could use a little more consistency, but I like what I've seen so far, especially on the outbreakers or running dig routes, especially when he's under control. So I like DuBose's upside. I love the blocking ability. It's so good. I really feel like he brings a lot of value as a blocker. Like, imagine if River comes back and him and DuBose are both on the field as a blocker. I don't know how it's going to work out. Like, DuBose will definitely, I think he'll see some playing time early on with the OBJ and River injuries. We'll see how it works out when OBJ and River come back. If he's still like, maybe he's the guy they try to get on the practice squad, or they still keep him on the main roster, or there's injuries at other places, so he still stays on. Not quite sure how it's going to work out, but really, really like watching DuBose as that blocker, whether it's as a run blocker, out in space on like jet sweep screens, or just I've seen examples where like he was running a route, his guy caught the ball, he instantly turned upfield, threw his body on a corner. It didn't go anywhere because the other guy made the tackle, but if that guy made his first guy miss, DuBose had his block locked down and it would have turned into a huge play. So that's kind of like why I feel pretty good about DuBose. This is my favorite play as a receiver there. Like, the body control, good strong hands, awareness. A lot of receivers kind of struggle to do this, to get 2 feet in bounds like that. So that shows me some promise. Big fan of DuBose. If you guys do it, comment and subscribe. Let's get